What's up, and welcome to another episode. Master Moats film session, and today we're going to be breaking down the 6th round draft pick out of the University of Miami, the U, Quincy Roche. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, the outside linebacker, edge rusher. I'm extremely excited about this kid right here. But before we go any further, if you haven't done so already, make sure you're subscribing to the channel. You don't want to miss this content, baby. We keep it rolling. We keep it rolling. We keeps it rolling. So without further ado, man, this is Mr. Quincy Roche right here. And we're just going to, highlight a couple of his plays, man, in terms of him coming off the edge, just so us as Steeler Nation can get a better idea of what we potentially have right here, man. So here he is coming off the edge. Nice little pass rush right here, man. Now, a couple things I like about this. Number one, he's out of the 2-point stance. Why is that important? This is a guy that has played with his hand in the ground in terms of being a true, DN, hand down. But he's also shown that he has the versatility to play out of a 2-point stance because in Pittsburgh, our outside linebackers play predominantly in a 2-point stance. Now, from here, check the get off out, right? Ball snap. Boom, he's one of the first guys off the ball, man. Now, obviously, you know who this guy over here is, Mr. Jalen Phillips, another first-round draft pick, right, in terms of that U defense, man. But right here, Quincy, like I said, nice first step. And then from here, now, okay, you didn't just beat him off the line of scrimmage. You didn't just run by him. So now what are you going to do? This is the thing that I like about Quincy's game. He has developed rush moves. Now, right here, he's going to be working what we call just the stab club. So he stabs. Right here, you can't see with the inside hand, but he's stabbing here. And now that he's in the middle of taking it away, he's clubbing with this outside hand. Now, what that outside hand club did, it knocks this guy's arm down and knocks him off balance. You see his head become, the part that's leaning forward. He's really not upright and square anymore. He's tilted over. And with that, now Quincy has the edge on him. Now it becomes, can he bend? Can he turn the corner? That's what we all love to see from pass rushers, right? Well, let's watch what he does on the next step. Boom. Now that he's flattened out, how does he do that? He starts reaching with that outside hand here, and that's ultimately going to help him run this curve. You talk about running the curve. This is how you run the curve right here. When you start reaching with that outside hand, for all my young rushers out here, it's going to make your hip start to flip. And then from there, it frees himself up, and now he's able to just be a playmaker. Long length right here, hunting that ball. Would love to have seen this be called a sack. They called it an incomplete pass, but man, beautiful job working this move in terms of the stab club, flattening out, bending that corner and hunting that ball. This is big time action right here, man. Like I said, I like this play a lot right here by Quincy, mainly because he didn't just win with the speed rush. Anybody in college, the higher end guys, always win with speed rushes. What do you do when the guy's still in front of you, though, when you got to actually work a rush move? And it's good to see Quincy actually have a rush move right here, man. Good play by him, though, man. Really good play. All right, now this next play we're going to see from Quincy is one of actually my favorite plays from him. It actually shows him getting blocked and him having to actually work some other moves to ultimately, finish off this rush in a positive way right here. So with that being said, this is Quincy, and let's talk about this play, baby. So now you see him down out of a 3-point stance, right? Remember last clip, he was in a 2-point stance. So here he is out the 3-point, right? Boom, boom. All right. Make sure y'all saw it first before we got to talking about this thing, deep diving into it. All right. So now we could really get the breakdown going. Him coming out of this 3-point stance, I'm fine with this because obviously in our sub packages, right, when we have our nickels on the field, our DNs, they do typically put their hands down. Most of the time you get better get off out of it. But right here, it's a little bit different just because he has bodies around him. So he's not able to get in the sprinter stance per se just because, proximity. This is a bigger body guy. He might chip block you. So you have to be aware of that. So now, once he comes out of his stance, I like the fact that he's active with his hands early. I don't think that he's treating this, well, he's actually not treating this as a true pass rush. It looks like, he was playing it like it could be a run element of it. So that's ultimately what he's doing here, shooting his hands like how he does. But then he goes to sky the rip, which I do like. And I'll see if I can back that up just a little bit. Pause it right at this spot right here. So this is what I liked about this play. So right now he's trying to sky the rip, right? We see him trying to convert from run to pass, which is a difficult thing for edge rushers to do at times, especially younger guys, because typically, you know, we're undersized compared to these offensive linemen. And when you get in close quarters like that and everybody get their hands on you, a lot of times they just can overpower you. So right here, we've all been in this situation as a rusher, whether you're an inside rusher or outside rusher, where you're working half a man, you're pretty much blocked, you have a rip move going, and you're kind of stuck here because you're not going to be able to really turn the corner like you want to create that nice rush angle. So you're kind of stuck. Like I said, you can keep skying the rip and go forward, but you're never going to be a playmaker in that from that standpoint. So what do you have to do here? You got to work a counter. And this is the counter that Quincy chooses to use right here, which I really like. It's a spin move, right? So right here, he continues to take it upfield, but now he's like, all right, it wasn't there. Now, when you're going to this spin move, you have to be very violent. Elbow, we always say put the ice pick in this tackle's back, right? So you see him going with the elbow instead of the full arm from the spin standpoint, but he still was violent enough that it was able to free him up just enough right here. Now, obviously, this guy's still holding on to him, but from here, once he gets that spin, now he's going to start outworking this guy. This is the finish element that I actually, like I said, really liked about this play right here, because as a whole, we have plays where you're going to just cook a guy out of stance. We have plays where you're going to have just this beautiful rush. But what happens when that first rush doesn't work? What happens when that initial move is blocked? How do you counter that? Are you going to turn your motor off and just stop? Or are you going to get after it even more? You're going to start going crazy like a scolded dog. And that's what my man Quincy does right here. Oh, it's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. Boom. Work, rip. All right. You still blocking? Cool. Let's go finish, though. Let's outwork him. That's what we're going to do right here. And like I said, man, good to see him being able to be like this, especially after a play where we just broke down earlier, where he had, you know, just beat him right out the stance and stuff like that. Good finish, though, as a whole. All right, now we're going to break down this last play from Quincy. And what I liked about this is he just showed versatility. So in the previous clips we've shown with Quincy, he's been on this right side coming off the edge. We've seen him standing up. We've seen him coming out of a 2-point stance. Out of a 3-point stance as well. Well, now we're getting Quincy on the left side. Now, why is this important? Well, when you're talking about potentially being the third rusher, right? The third outside linebacker behind TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith, you have to have positional versatility. You have to be able to play on the right and left side and still be able to do it at a high level and be an effective player out of that. So to me, this is very important and impactful because that can be the difference between him being on the field a lot sooner and a lot more frequently versus, you know, him only being limited to, I could only play on this right side behind Alex. I could only play on one side behind TJ. So with that being said, I'm playing this in full speed. And after that, we'll talk about it a little bit more. So I just highlighted him right here. All right. So a couple things that I like. Initially, like I said, man, showing again he can stand up out the 2-point stance and he flips the footwork right here. So when he was on this side, he had his outside foot up, which would have been his right leg. Now that he's on this side, he puts the left leg up. Now, why is that important? Well, in Pittsburgh, we're big on having the proper footwork, but also knowing that he can flip-flop his stances lets me know that even though we might not have this open stance where our outside foot is up in this defense from Pittsburgh, we typically have our inside foot up. But seeing that he's comfortable bursting off of either foot, that lets me know that that can be easily switched in terms of him playing left side with the right foot up or playing the right side with his left inside foot up. Either way, we've seen him now drive off of both feet from a starting stance. So that's good to know. Now from here, we get to see his patented move again, right? That club, where he's going to stick it and he's going to club the arm down, right? Boom. You see the long arm, he flashes it right here. And now this outside hand is coming down for the knockdown. Boom. Now he's right where he needs to be again. We talk about this angle right here. Got the tackle leaning forward out of position. And now he's already been and ready to come around this corner and get a hit on the quarterback. This is good. And I love what we said in the other clip, right? We said you have to reach with this outside hand to help flip your hips. It makes it super easy. And not only that, but it makes you longer. And you're going to get close to that ball a lot. You get close to the ball a lot faster as well. So think about this play right here. He's about to have a QB hit here, right? You see him reaching. Obviously, doesn't hit the ball right here, but this is bang bang. You do this play 10 times, 5, 6, 7 times. These are sacks right here, strip sacks, impact plays. So you see that, right? But let's look at the actual play here, just to give it context. Shotgun, okay, it's 37. Shotgun. This is a 3-step, and he still gets to the quarterback. Count with me: 1001, 1002. We didn't even all the way get to 3 balls out, but he's already at this quarterback. Why is that important? Because it's not always going to be 3-step. Trust me, not every team is going to say 3rd and 7, let's go 3-step and just give up and get off the field. No, teams at the NFL level are going to want to stretch the field. They're going to want to keep possessions and drives alive. And if you're rushing and winning like this on the right and left side, man, that speaks volumes. I don't care what team you're playing against. I want to see the moves that you're making. And these are big time moves right here. This is NFL ready. Ultimately, why we drafted him where we drafted him. But a lot of people will say that this is a steal of a pick right here and why I'm extremely high on him. But as a whole, good to see him working the right and left side of the field. Good to see him being able to utilize both of his moves on either side of the field and be able to finish the way that we like to see him finish from a fundamental standpoint. So, like I said, I'm extremely excited about Quincy, but you know how we do. Let me know how y'all feel about Quincy, man. Do you love him being here? Do you think he could challenge Alex Highsmith potentially, man, sometime in 2021 to be the starter opposite TJ Watt? But either way, man, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. And until next time, baby, peace.